Here it is, both hands together. And there we go. And then you also have the improvisation from chord symbols. Same thing here, and you could practice applying that Italian sixth chord. So over on page 272, we have some technique exercises, some work with intervals for number 1 and 2, and then some contrary motion scales for number 3. If you find that you have trouble putting your scales hands together, practicing them in contrary motion like this here. Nope, I did it wrong. Is an excellent way to work on practicing them hands together, because you have the finger switches in the same place in the scale instead of having to alternate them, and you have the same fingers going under and over while you go out. So if you want to practice your scales hands together but are having trouble doing that in parallel motion, contrary motion would be a great way to start. We have some diminished seventh arpeggios over on page 274, great for practicing some accuracy and following the finger patterns. Then we'll go ahead and take a look over at solfeggio in C minor. This is the solo repertoire for this week. This one looks really intimidating, but it's actually, when you look at it, it's just one note at a time. There's never, I don't think in the entire thing, there's just a couple of places where we have multiple notes at once, but it's just like octaves and just simple intervals in the left hand. It's mostly just one note at a time, which does make it a little bit easier. And one of the best things for about this song that's really good is that it switches back and forth between left and right hand. So basically when the stems go up, it's left hand. When the stems go down, it's right hand. And so that is really helpful for figuring out how to do these patterns through here. If you were to try to do all of this with your just one hand, you could do it. I mean, it would work, but it would be a lot harder instead of switching back and forth between left and right hand. So you're just going to follow along with that. Tails down is left hand, tails up is right hand. And I'll just go ahead and play this one through from the beginning. This one is really long. This will be one of your solo rep choices for the week 10 exam. But definitely this one would be a great one to choose if you're looking for a little bit of a challenge. Complete with just a couple mistakes. But that is your option for this one. It really is fun, and it is actually a lot easier than it looks when you start going with it. So don't discount this one just because it looks long and complicated. It really is fun, and I think you guys would enjoy playing this one. Okay, so now we're going to go over to Agnus Dei, which is an excerpt from the Mozart Requiem. So what I would do with this one is to go through and first play each hand separately. So if I look at my soprano and alto, and then I'm also going to grab that time where the I need to play that E in the tenor part in measure 2 with my right hand. So I'm just going to go ahead and play through the right hand part alone. 1, 2, ready, go. Grab that E. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Rest, rest. Now left hand, and in measure 2, you're just going to drop out and just play that C sharp alone. 1, 2, ready, go. 3, 1. Rest, rest. So now we'll go ahead and try it with both hands together. Definitely practice each of those parts separately and each of the hands separately as you need to a little bit more. But the good thing is that this one does not need to go fast at all. In fact, it should not go very fast. It should be quite slow. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Rest, rest. So definitely, again, that last line is a little tricky there with some of those accidentals, but take it nice and slow and practice each part separately, and you should have no problems. All right, so now we'll go ahead and look at the string quartet. This is one that will be on the 10-week exam, but let's take a look at something here. The viola part only ever plays one note. And what is that note? It's just C, which is like the easiest note to play in viola clef because that's the note that it shows. It's just that middle C. So that really does make it a lot easier in my opinion. So what we'll go ahead and we'll do is to do the same thing. Let's just practice each hand separately. If you need to go through and do each part, go for it. I'm just going to practice each hand separately here. The only thing that's tricky is to notice that the right hand and left hand basically alternate taking that middle C in the viola part. But again, it's just one note, so it's not too tricky.